200 or 300 miles in pursuit of a flying enemy with the continuous speed and eagerness of a snatch pack of bloodhounds till they shed blood. When they have allayed this their burning thirst, they return home at their leisure, unless they chance to be pursued and sometimes chased. Whence the traders say that an Indian is never in a hurry, but when the devil is at his heels. Talking about the so-called white man. So that, like it says, the links. Well, the scriptures say the Gadites' faces was like the faces of lions, cause they face literally have like the bone structure of what a lion look, meaning they don't look like some mythological animal like some idiots might think, but the bone structure, it resembles that of a lion or a lynx. Okay, and that ties in with when they used to put the war paint on their face, how they'll have fierce countenance, cause the white man, if he's really afraid of us. Okay, that's why he went to so many extents to try to destroy us in the way that he did, to put fear in us, because he really fears us. Okay, and it says they were as swift as roes upon the mountains, going back to them being nimble. And then it says that they were exceedingly swift of foot, especially in long chases. Okay, that's plain. Okay, let me hop down to verse 14. Alright, First Chronicles chapter 12 verse 14. It says, there were the sons of Gad, captains of the host. One of the least was over 100, and the greatest over 1,000. So if you read the history about when about Israel and how they used to rank, when they'll go to battle, they'll set up captains for each host, whatever, and you have heads over tens and hundreds and thousands, and foremost, well, of the tribe of Gad, they were the captains, so they headed the warriors. So, and it wasn't like Esau's or the so-called white man's military, where you have the head guys, that's the head over the thing. They sitting back in the cut, while they have the other soldiers go out and fight and be valiant, while they stay back and collect medals and fame. It was the other way around. In Israel, if you was the head or the top warrior, or you was the captain, you was the main one out there in the face of battle, lapping heads and putting heathens to death or whatnot. Okay, and you gain respect through your warlike prowess. Okay, as a warrior. That's why when you do any research on the internet, which I was looking for the top warriors on ever, they won't never mention King David or men like Gideon or Joshua. Okay, because they don't want to give credit to the Israelites. Okay, which all those, King David was a so-called Negro. Okay, the greatest, one of the greatest warriors of all time. Okay, you had Joshua was a so-called Puerto Rican. Okay, all right. Gideon, a so-called Cuban, and such and so forth. Okay, Samson. All right. So we was a nation of fierce warriors, man. Okay, but in those armies, Gad had a high position. Okay, let me hop down to verse 37. First Chronicles chapter 12 verse 37. It says, on the other side of Jordan, of the Reubenites and of the Gadites and of the half tribe of Manasseh, with all manner of instruments of war for the battle, 120,000. So they were skilled. The Gadites were skilled in all manner of instruments of war, just like the Native Americans. Okay, it says all these men of war that could keep rank came with a perfect heart to Hebron to make King David over all Israel, and all the rest also of Israel were of one heart to make David king. Okay. Alright, so that's a cut. That's like two cuts. One that's a cut on these simple ass niggas that think only Negroes was make up the house of David. You had the other tribes. Okay. And that's a cut on these other guys that's trying to say that uh the Native Americans are not Israelites, because they are Israelites, because they fit the characteristics or the manners of Gad. Okay, this is Joshua 1:12. It says, "And to the Reubenites and to the Gadites and to the half tribe of Manasseh spake Joshua, saying, Remember the words which Moses the servant of the Lord commanded you, saying, The Lord your God have given you rest, and have given you this land. Your wives and your little ones and your cattle shall remain in the land which Moses gave you on this side of Jordan, but ye shall pass before your brethren armed, all the mighty men of valor, and help them, until the Lord have given your brethren rest, as he hath given you, and they also have possessed the land which the Lord your power giveth them. Then ye shall return unto the land of your possession, and enjoy it, which which Moses, the Lord's servant, gave you on this side of Jordan till the sunrise." Okay. All right. So when you read the book of Joshua, all right, those that was leading, all right, to make war, who's in the forefront, that was with Joshua making war against the Canaanites, were the Gadites, as well as Reuben and the half tribe of Manasseh. Okay, because they made a promise to Moses, or Moses made them make a promise that they will help their brothers, the other tribes, obtain land before they before they was able to enjoy their land. Okay, and that's in the history. So Gad, like it says back in Genesis 49:19, it says Gad, which we find out through the scriptures. Gad, the name Gad means troop. Okay, which is an omen, a name prediction. All right, and that the descendants of Gad were mighty men of valor, skilled in war, had faces of lions, all right, and were as swift as roes on the mountains, and that they were able to handle all manner of weapons of war, and they were skillful in shooting the bow. Okay, just like it said in this account right here, and James Adair, The History of American Indians. The men are experts in the use of firearms and shooting the bow and throwing the feathered dart and the tomahawk into the flying enemy. They resemble the lynx, which is like a lion, a giant feline cat, okay, with their sharp, penetrating black eyes, which that's another thing, because if you ever met, I always get this all the time, but people always assume that I'm angry or I'm mean or whatever from just off of my facial expression, because of how our faces look. Okay, because we have strong, what they call strong features or whatnot. Okay, all right, because we resemble that of what, the lions and the lynx or whatever. Okay, and with their sharp, penetrating black eyes, and are exceedingly swift of foot, like the roes, especially in long chases. Okay, all right. So that's in the history. So that proves that Gad has to be of the North American Indians. But let's keep going. It says Gad, a troop. Okay, let's look that up. Troop shall overcome him. So let's look up troop. Okay, this is Strong's Hebrew 14:16. It's Gadawad. Gadawad, which means a band, troop, margaret band, troop band of divisions of armies of army for raid. Okay, what was that troop or divisions of armies? Those were the militias and cavalries of the U.S. government. All right, first starting with these fucking Puritans and Pilgrims. Okay, All right, and then the colonists, and then to the U.S. government, and then their military, and then the militia groups and cavalries. Okay, that's that truth. Okay, that's that truth. So it said, Gad, a troop shall overcome him. Okay, let's look at the word overcome. Okay, the Strong's Hebrew 1464, which is Gawad. It says to invade, attack. Now it says what? To invade, to attack. A troop shall overcome him. Who was that troop? It was the so-called white man and his many forms of military or divisions of military in the form of what? The cavalries, all right, and the militia groups. Okay, it said to invade, attack. Okay, which that's what they did. So back in Genesis 49:19, it says, Gad, a troop shall overcome him. Okay, invade him, but he shall overcome at the last. Okay, so the second part of this scripture has not been fulfilled yet, but the first part has been fulfilled in the history we have to prove that fact. Okay, all right. Let me get some more scriptures on that, on the overcome part. This is Amos chapter 1 verse 11. Okay, now Edom or Esau is the so-called white man, which the word Edom in the Hebrew is Adamam, which means red, because they really red. Okay, they like to call us the Redskins, the Native Americans, but that term came from them when they will, after they will kill us and scalp us, the blood will get on the skin, so they call the term Redskins. Okay, or whenever they mutilate other body parts off the body. Okay, all right, but really they're the red man. Okay, all right. So it says, thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. Now who was his brother that he pursued with the sword? It was the Native Americans. Okay, because yes, we are related to the so-called white man, because Esau, alright, which is the father of the Edomites, was the evil twin brother of Jacob, which is our forefather, whose name was changed to Israel, which is the father of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which make up the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, this is Ezekiel 35:3, and say unto it, thus saith the Lord God, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. Okay, it says, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. Talking about the so-called white man, because when the Lord, he's about to judge this land for all the evil that the so-called white man has done to the people of the land, all right, and what he did to what he did to the Latinos and Native Americans of the Western Hemisphere, which are the lost 10 tribes, and what he did when he brought Judah, Benjamin, and Levi from different parts of the Eastern Hemisphere, starting first in Spain with the Moors, then in the west coast of Africa and Ireland, okay, with the Irish, all right, because they was taking Jake from different parts of Europe and Africa, all right, to bring them over here to serve slavery in the West with us, okay. So the Lord gonna judge them. It says, verse 5, it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, okay, all right. That should be a rude awakening for you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, because this man has a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity and in the time that their iniquity had an end. Okay, so he been slaying us like it's going out of style, man. Okay, but the Lord gonna deal with him, man. He gonna take his ass out of style when he pronounced judgment on him. Okay. Yeah, have a good